Eyes down for the Well, hello there folks. As Granny Weatherwax used to say in Terry Pratchett, I ain't dead. I'm still feeling a bit crap and I've got a persistent cough, right, which you will no doubt hear as time goes along. But I've come for a few hours today to get myself dealt back into it, sort of thing. And I've just decided that seeing as winter is now fast approaching, the first thing I'd crack on with was the heater modification. So what I have here, he said, wandering out of shot, what I have here is a mock-up of what it's going to be. This fan is a little Woods fan which originally did exactly the same job in a very early type of oil-fired boiler which had a burner very much like that. Right, but the burner was a tub with lots of holes around the outside, and the fan blew into this chamber, went through the holes in there, and then up here went the flame into a mass of pipes. I can't remember what it was. It might and there's the cough. It might have been a BSA hot spur, but I'm sure somebody will tell me. I'm sure somebody familiar with oil-fired boilers. And we had one of these. My cousin had one of these, and this was we got a spare boiler, and this was a spare motor for it. And it's a spare boiler which I wish I'd never thrown away, because it would have run on waste oil. Because it worked. It had a very old-fashioned mechanical controller. It had a heat sensor in the flue, which was a coiled bimetal strip which twisted a shaft which clicked a micro switch to tell when it was alight, right? And basically when you turned it on, it started the fan, it dribbled oil into the pan, right? It heated a little red hot coil around a wick which then ignited the flame, right? And then off it went, and it would run until the flue stat said the fire had gone out or the thermostat stopped calling for heat, and then it would shut the oil shut the oil oh god, this cough. I'm always like this whenever I have anything to do with chest infections or any snottiness or colds or flu. It leaves me with a cough. And my cousin used to say to me, when are you going to bloody stop coughing? And I used to answer, spring. And that's usually when I stop coughing. So there you go. Right, so that's how it used to work. It was mechanical, it was very reliable, and the only reason it got scrapped was because the actual tub was made out of stove enamel steel, and it just rusted through underneath, and we couldn't repair it anymore. We just could not repair it anymore. I suppose I could have made another one, but we decided a new boiler was better. So what we have here is we have a jerry-rigged test, and when we turn the fan on, we just get a nice draft out of there, and I think that will be enough. Just turn that off again. Now, as I've said to you before, this pulls out of there. I'll wait till I stop coughing. And I think that this might be far too much air, so I'm planning on another piece of tube with a stopper in the top with holes angled all the way around it. And the general consensus seems to be 3 rows of holes of about oh god 3/16 diameter. So that might get that. This will get a speed control, so we can vary the amount of air it's pushing. And I've got several other fans which I could use as well, but I just fancied this one because this was its original job. So that's progressing. On the lathe, where had we got to on the lathe? We got to here. We got this bit finished and we got a little hole through there. Right, well, just before I left, I managed to hack this piece of steel out to do the job, and that's got to be filed up to fit, to block that up, something like that. You can see the idea, but that's got to be filed up. That white chalk is the actual shape we want, so I've got to file that up. I'm not feeling pretty much like filing at the moment because I'm going to go home shortly because I've really only come to collect some bits and pieces to meet the demands of the family for do-it-yourself jobs at home. So this looks rather nice, doesn't it? Nice to see that nothing at all has rusted. I've been off, I think this is week 4. I was determined to be back in week 2, and then it was week 3. And I'm feeling pretty much my old self again, but the weather's crap and the enthusiasm is just not there at the moment. Although now I'm back here, I feel a lot better, apart from perhaps the hot sweats. But there you go. I've been advised not to overdo it at my great age, so there you go. Right, is there anything else I can tell you? What other projects was I getting on with? The lathe, the heater. No, I think that's it. I got out the wonderful windy Mega and tested the motor before I connected it up, seeing as it has been stood for a long time, and I have a feeling that these are new tails that I put on because I have a feeling the tails had shorted on it, and that's why it was put to one side. I am now going to, I'll just flick that on again, let you listen. Now that sounds to me like it needs some grease in its bearings. And I've just tried to get the fan off the front and I can't get it off. But that was partly because I need 3 hands and I've only got 2. Terrible disability and all that. There you go. Right, so I'm going to crack on with that. I'm going to strip that motor down now and see if I can get some grease into the bearings, see if it is indeed the bearings that are a bit noisy. And then we can continue with that. I'm also going to go outside into the wonderful store outside. The weather's pretty grotty. I'm going to go into the store outside because in there I'm pretty sure there's an old metal fuel tank off a lawnmower. Although it looks bigger than it should be, but it's not sort of lawnmower size. It's almost like 2-gallon can size. But I'm pretty sure there's a fuel tank in there, and that will mount over there on the wall, somewhere near that speed control. That speed control's for the flue fan, which does the extraction. I have noticed one thing since I've come back. That fluorescent fires, and this one does not fire. It looks like its starter's gone open circuit now, but I might give it a tap and see if I can get it to go. I was trying. These 8-foot tubes get very sluggish when they get cold. But there you go. Right. Actually, I think talking makes my cough better. Rapid spray glue to take down to Michael's to get him to mend my shoes. Right, I'll pull this motor to bits, and if I get it in bits and I can fix it, I'll bring you back. Bye now. Right folks, we're in, and unfortunately that bearing, can you hear that? Has had it. So I'm going to pop those off and order a pair from the wonderful internet, unless I've got some. There's a slim chance I've got some, but I'll have a look. But I'll have to order some new bearings for that, because that one's no good. I thought it sounded really noisy, but the fan comes to bits. Got the fan off, which is what I couldn't do before. Got it all to pieces. So I shall rip these bearings off, see if I've got any replacements. If not, I'll have to order some tonight. See you later. Right folks, there we have it. All stripped down, all cleaned up. Bearings are shot. It wants two 6/19/6. That's 6mm bore, 19mm external, and 6mm width bearings, which I shall order tonight from the internet. I shall try not to buy Chinese ones, because this is quite a highly stressed component and the price difference really is neither here nor there. So that's what I shall do. Right, that's it for today. I'm going to pedal off down to Michael's with this glue to get him to repair my shoes, and then I shall go home and recover from this stressful 2 or 3 hours at the workshop. Right, see you all later folks. Bye now.